The Isle of Man road trip continues. Now, yesterday we did our run up the Sloc mountain run and we took part in the awesome Jurby track day, which the XKR just smoked, and smoked its brakes, but we'll gloss over that. After that, we visited the Isle of Man Motor Museum, and I'm cutting some footage in of that now because we couldn't really walk and talk in here because it is a museum, but it was incredible. If you visit the Isle of Man, it's a must-visit destination. Some of the cars in there, just beyond belief. It's pretty much the best car museum we've ever been to, and it's not immaculately preserved museum pieces, ironically. They're all cars that look like they've just been driven in there. It's a fantastic museum. You need to visit it, honestly. Isle of Man Motor Museum, highly recommended. And as part of this tour, we actually got free entry. We just showed our tour fobs and they let us in. Loved it. But today, in the town of Douglas, which is where we're staying in the hotel, the organisers of this trip, Scenic Car Tours, have arranged for us to host our own car show on the seafront promenade. They've actually had it closed just for us. They've been promoting it for weeks. We're going to put our cars up on the seafront and just enjoy all the amazing classic cars and sports cars that we've brought along. So let's head down there, see what it's like. But first, our friends at Lancaster Insurance are running monthly giveaways. You can win all sorts, from experience days to tools, restaurant vouchers and tech. So click the link below at the end of the video to enter their latest competition. So here we have it then, Douglas Seafront, which is lined top to toe with some incredible cars, not least our XKR, but it's going to be a bit too difficult and a bit too busy to go through sort of particular individual cars that we like. So let's just go for a walk along and see what we can find. Come on, come. So obviously we're parked next to this lovely X100 XK8 convertible, really nice car. This 4.2, not the supercharged like ours, but still really nice. Modern F-Type here, that's a facelift one. Gorgeous red on that, big fan. X-Type Estate, don't count these out, we know these are a great car. Gorgeous green on this X100 convertible. It is an XK8 or an XKR, but it's got these optional sort of multi-spokey wheels on it. Absolutely delicious. Behind you there on the camera is an XJS convertible, which is a really late one. That's going to be a 94, I believe. It has got the US spec headlights, you can see, which I'm not a huge fan of, but other than that, it looks fantastic. You know how much I love an XJS. We are in the Jag section, so it's just top to tail with X100s. There's an S-Type there, there's F-Types, all kinds of Jaguars everywhere. Many MX-5s here, Marks 1s, 2, 3 and 4, including a Mark 4 there, which I'm slightly sore about the fact that he was faster than me on the track yesterday, but we'll gloss over that. An E-Type, which is gorgeous, had a little bit of a wee, but we won't mention that. TVR Tuscan, I love a Tuscan. That's a really late one of those 6 plate. Griffith, sort of the more wild child cousin to the Chimera, which I love so very much. The variety here is absolutely incredible. You're walking past a load of Mazda MX-5s of various generations. This one smoked everyone at the track yesterday. 300 horsepower turbo Mark III. Jensen Owners Club have come with us. There's an Interceptor. We love Interceptors. It's the 50th anniversary this year of the Jensen Healey, so they've brought a selection of Jensen Healeys. This is about as many as you're gonna see together ever. I don't think even at the NEC you're gonna find 4 Jensen Healeys next to each other. This magnificent barge is a Maserati Quattroporte for sale for £19,000, so I'm very tempted. Lovely XK150. That's been getting some looks today. Big fan of that. Triumph Stag with a very appropriate MAN number plate. Mark III Cortina there on Ross style wheels. I think we should get one of those, shouldn't we? Just the variety here is what stands out. That's a cute dog, albeit very noisy. There's a little Austin 8 there, and I love the little board the guy's got with it. 900cc 4-cylinder side valve, not for sale. So he obviously gets asked a lot, will you sell it? And he won't. Good for him, because it's lovely. Triumph TR7. Last of the TR cars, if you don't count the TR8 because we didn't get it in the UK. Big fan of TR7s. That one's a coupe, so an earlier car potentially. Go and watch our video if you haven't. Big fan of TR7s. Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit, of course, the NASP cousin to our very own Bentley Turbo R, and these are a great car. Really great, put a smile on your face. But so does this, for a very different reason. The MG Metro, again with a MAN number plate on it, very appropriate. Very rare these days. Jeff used to have one, and since he sold it, he's not stopped talking about how much he misses it. Jeff, buy it back. They're great. Mini Clubman Estate in a gorgeous shade of green. It's done less than 17,000 miles. That is fantastic. Little Lotus Elan. Just the variety here is incredible, and it lines the entire seafront here. There's so much more to see. We're going to keep walking along. Here's an Enigma, literally. This is what's called a Healy Enigma. It looks old, but it's not. It's a modern kit car. It's actually built on a Mark III MX-5, as I understand it, and it's made to look a bit oldie-worldy. You'll notice certain details, like the headlights. It's new, but it's old, and I kind of like it for that. Something very, very different. W124 Coupe. I mean, what more is there to say? It's a 3-litre. I believe it's the 24-valve, this one. Oh, just fantastic car. I still want one of these. Triumph TR7. The guy who drives this pedals it like an absolute hero. I couldn't lose him in a 400 horsepower XKR, so he clearly knows how to drive. There's a Fiat 127. The guys from Lancaster Insurance have one of those as part of our trading up challenge. We like those. Aston Martin DB9 next to us on the ferry there. We spoke to the chap who owns this, and he loves the Isle of Man so much he's been here 6 times this year, and he's correct about that because this place is incredible if we haven't already made it plain. Really nice early Morris Mini Cooper S. It's just a gorgeous example, this actually, absolutely immaculate. Love it, I'm a huge fan, and these days worth a fair few quid. Also a fan of this for very different reasons. R129 Mercedes SL, still a proper bargain, but not for too much longer. Go and watch our buying guide and get one now, because you'll regret not buying one for the prices they are now when they're double that in a couple of years' time. Royce Silver Seraph, the last of the crew-built Rolls Royces, and for that reason, highly sought after, highly prized, and highly massive, as all Rolls Royces very often are. Just behind you there, we've got a little Ford Popular or Prefect. It's had sort of wide arches moulded into it. It's got a Mazda MX-5 engine under the bonnet. Panther Callista, based on a Mark III Escort. Looks a bit like a Morgan, but actually it's its own thing in its own right. Rover 75 V8. Very, very rare beast these. They only made a few hundred. One of the cars that unfortunately bankrupted MG Rover led to their downfall. So it's great to see one of these in the flesh. The V8 one is magnificent. For those of you that didn't know, 4.6 litre V8 out of a Mustang in that. It goes on and on. MGB GT, Jaguar S-Type, Capri 2.8 injection, Vauxhall Velox. There's a Van den Plas Princess there, MGF, another R129 SL. There's more. Hillman Minx. Go and watch our video if you haven't already. Minx, fantastic little car. We love those. Ford Consul, another XK8. Clearly they're driven by winners. E30 BMW. There's a Renault 4. I mean, we all love a Renault 4. Rover P4 100. Fantastic car. If you haven't already, go and see our video on the P4 because I think this is one of the best bargains in the classic car world right now. These are magnificent. And just there on the end, Detomaso Pantera. How often do you see those ever? And here it is just on the seafront promenade. Scenic Car Tours have organised this whole show down the seafront here, and they've done an amazing job because I don't know of any car show that has this kind of variety apart from maybe the NEC, and even that isn't going to give you 5 Jensen Healey's in a row, is it? So, phenomenal show. So now, I've got to walk about a mile back there, back to the car.
That evening we were told to head up into the hills to the Victory Cafe, and it's safe to say it's pretty much the most stunning drive to dinner I've ever had. We opted to drive, but there was also the option of a tram ride up into the mountains. But whichever route you chose, you were in for some stunning scenery. Overseeing the Isle of Man TT course, the Victory Cafe is a rustic restaurant specialising in local produce and decorated throughout with TT and motorcycle memorabilia. Check out that Honda 90. The tour was treated to an evening of live music and delicious food, and any day that includes a car show, a stunning mountain drive and a pie in the evening is a pretty good one as far as I'm concerned. That superb dinner concludes this episode, but tune in next time for the epic conclusion to the trip. You won't want to miss this one. If you fancy your own Isle of Man adventure, then good news! We teamed up with our friends at Scenic Car Tours to bring you the Prestige and Performance Car Tour 2023 on the 18th to the 22nd of May, exclusively for Classics World viewers and Kelsey Magazine readers. It's the trip of a lifetime with experiences you can't buy. So head to www.sceniccartours.com/Kelsey for full details and to book. See you there. This video is proudly sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Give them a call on 01480 400 889 for an insurance quote on your classic car. And don't forget to click the link below to enter their latest competition.